Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to elaborate the news that I heard on CNN yesterday. The title of the news was More People Died in Japan from Suicide. Only last 1 month in the month of October, then died of COVID during whole year. 1 month of suicide death compared to 12 months of COVID. That was really stunning to me, shocking to me, kind of eye-opening to me. I began to think that since the government has been going for all these kinds of hullabaloo about COVID, lockdown and no schools and no economy and no outgoing and no any kind of celebration and no religious places, Mr. Tabernacles should remain open and all that, making a very, very big deal about COVID, though I'm not saying that is for the wrong, but I would say that our perspective about all kinds of fatal condition must be in proportion. Why government of Japan is not thinking about reducing or doing something to decline these many cases of suicide, rather than just running after like a headless chicken, just COVID, and COVID. COVID killed much less people in Japan in whole year than 1 month of October killed in Japan by suicide. I have prepared 5 points. They're sarcastic, that we can just laugh about it, we can just think about it, and we can just see some kind of sense in these points, sarcastic points. So point number 1 is, government must discover suicide vaccine. Sarcastically, I have written that when government is actually talking and spending all the money and going bonker after discovering the vaccine against COVID, what about this? What about suicide? Suicide has actually killed more people in 1 month in Japan, and many other nations are there than COVID did in 12 months. So why government is not thinking about creating a suicide vaccine along with the COVID vaccine? Sarcastic. Vaccine against suicide is not possible. Number 2, government must declare lockdown on suicide. Since government has declared lockdown to save our lives against COVID, government should also do the same thing. Declare lockdown against people who are committing suicide and save their lives, because the life lost in COVID is as precious as life lost by suicide. There's no any kind of variation or any kind of distinction, any kind of difference. Life is life, whether life is taken away by COVID or life is taken away by suicide. Sarcastically, I have written it that lockdown, there cannot be any lockdown against suicide. Point number 3, government must regulate to wear mask against suicidal people. When someone finds out that this person is suicidal, he talks about suicide all the time, and he is prone to commit suicide, then people should actually wear masks against him. When they are talking to this kind of suicidal people with suicidal tendency, suicidal thought, suicidal intent, and death wish. These kind of people with death wish should be wore mask. People should wear masks against them. Sarcastically, wearing masks against these kind of people is not going to help the person who is wearing mask or person who is committing or thinking about committing suicide. Number 4, government must quarantine suicidal people with suicidal tendencies, suicidal thought, and a death wish from going to suicide forest. There is a suicide forest in Japan. They say the people go over there and they commit suicide. Those people who are depressed, those people who are buried under lots of worries and anxieties and debts and all kinds of melatonin things like that, which actually make them totally suicidal. These kind of people go into the forest and commit suicide. The name of this forest is, or the title or nickname of the forest is Suicide Forest. Lots of people go over there and commit suicide in Japan. So government must prevent these kind of people from having access to this kind of forest. All the entries of the forest must be locked up, must be sealed. Nobody should be allowed to enter into that kind of forest. The forest which is nicknamed Suicide Forest. Point number 5 is, bitter winter can make people manic depressive to commit suicide. That is hormonal problem and that's scientific. It happens in almost every northern hemisphere nations on this planet, even in America. Richest people commit suicide in winter because winter is too bitter. When sun does not rise and when solar rays don't actually touch on the ground and our serotonin don't flow in adequate amount. Melatonin actually grows too much in darkness. And when melatonin secretes too much in our brain, then we have manic depression. We don't like food, we don't like people, we don't like our own children, we don't like money, we don't like our own 5-star or 7-star bungalow, we don't like our luxury cars, we don't like nothing. Only the thing we like to do is to commit suicide, and that melatonin creates a kind of death wish, a kind of suicidal tendency, and that makes people all over the world in very cold region to commit suicide. America is also the nation where lots of people commit suicide in the northern hemisphere of America. Japan is also very cold in the month of October, November. So the real reason, scientific reason why these many people or these many Nipponics commit suicide is that melatonin. Melatonin is secreted from their hypothalamus too much that they cannot make any kind of sense, they cannot understand, they don't find any reason to live, and only the reason they find is to end their own life, take their own life in their hand, commit suicide. They go into the suicide forest and hang themselves up. God forbid everyone on this planet. Thank you very much for listening. That's all the time we have. God bless everyone on this planet from all kinds of adversities, calamity, and catastrophe. Bye.